Dear God, please bless our elected officials. Grant them the wisdom to know and the courage to do what is right for all citizens. Amen.
Amen. Roll call, please.
Allen? Here. Green?
Here.
LaFour?
Here.
Mistrovich? Ricks?
Here.
Warren?
Here.
Yark.
Here. Need a motion to excuse Mike Mistrovich, being he is held up out of town this evening, will not be able to make the meeting. Is there a motion to excuse him from tonight's meeting?
So moved.
Support.
Motion's made and supported. Any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion does pass. We move on to approval of minutes. Motion be in order for the city council meeting of November 2nd. Is there a motion? So moved. There's been a motion?
Oh, support.
Thank you. Any discussion on the motion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion does pass. We also have the organizational meeting of November 9th. Is there a motion for those minutes?
So moved.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on to audience comments on any non-agenda items. If anybody would like to address the city council, we ask that you come up to the podium, state your name and address to the clerk for the record. Anybody like to address city council this evening? Okay, we will move on. Adoption of agenda, Mr. City Manager, any changes?
No changes.
City council, any changes? Motion to accept the agenda as presented would be in order.
So moved.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion does pass. We move on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. There is no discussion on the consent agenda motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion does pass. We move on to items for consideration, which we have 3 this evening. The first one being consideration of purchase of a plotter. Mr. City Manager.
Council is scheduled to consider the purchase of a new large format printer, better known or referred to as our plotter. In 2004, City Council authorized the purchase of an HP plotter, and it has served the city well, although towards the end of this 10 or 11 years that we've had it, it's starting to show its age. And so the city planner began researching options. We had it in the 5-year capital improvement plan for the last couple of years, knowing that we were kind of pushing the envelope as far as the useful life of the plotter. There are 3 that are comparable to the unit we have. I think a Canon, Epson, and HP. The one that we have is an HP. It's about $700 and some more expensive than the other 2. However, it has more functionality, as well as we think in the long term, it'll probably be a little cheaper to operate over a 10-year lifespan than the other 2. So based on kind of the review that we did, we're recommending to waive the purchase ordinance and go with the HP plotter. We use that for a lot of our zoning maps. We also print plan sets for DPW for our various projects and items like that. We've also used it for other organizations and surrounding municipal governments. If they need a map, we have a fee schedule, and depending on what they're using them for, we either charge them, or sometimes if it's something for a community, we don't. But in this case, we're asking council to waive the purchasing ordinance and purchase the HP plotter. We did forget to put in that would be a roll call vote.
Okay. Okay. Is there a motion?
Move to waive the purchasing orders bidding requirements on the basis of no monetary advantage and authorize the expense of $5,165.50 to Intercomp TSG for the purchase of an HP Design Jet Z5400 PS printer, 44-inch model with expenses charged to the appropriate line items, Tifa, water, and sewer funds.
Support?
Motion's been made and supported. Is there any discussion?
I do have a question, Mr. Mayor.
Right ahead.
This is directed to Troy, I believe. The ink that each one uses, is it relatively the same cost? Is it laser? Is it inkjet? Is it?
It's a pigment-based ink set. They do have larger milliliter sizes, so in the long run, it may be a little more expensive, but we're getting more ink. And actually, in usage, it'll probably use less ink than the current model, being that it's 11 years older and technology has improved.
And is that for all three types?
Yes, all three plotters, whether from Canon, Epson, or HP. I believe the HP and Canon are pigment-based, while the Epson is, I forget the other term, but it's a non-pigment based, but it's based on the colors that we currently are able to print. All three would do the job, but we feel the added capabilities of the HP would allow us to do more, and with the larger memory and RAM on it, it would actually work on its own and not bog my computer down while I'm plotting.
So you wouldn't be more efficient then?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And I also understand it's a two-roll paper printer?
Yes.
So you don't have to change it all the time?
Yeah. Currently, if we wanted to print a 36-inch wide plot, we'd have to put a 36-inch size roll, load it in, and get it adjusted properly. This will automatically adjust and allow us to have two different paper roll sizes on the plotter at one time.
Any other questions? Comments?
Yes. To credit, I mean, it was in the 5-year plan, and I think getting 11 years out of the last plotter, I think we saw the benefit of that. I think it's very reasonable. Not sure many printers have lasted in general that amount of period. I think we got our money out of.
Like 11 months, some of the ones I've had. Any audience comments on this item? Okay, back to the table. All in favor of the motion, I'm sorry, roll call?
Green,
Yes.
LaFour,
Yes.
Mistravich is absent, Ricks.
Yes.
Warren,
Yes.
Yark,
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you for all that background brief on that item. Item number 2, consideration of fire vehicle committee appointment. Mr. City Manager?
Council is scheduled to consider appointing a replacement to the Fire Department Equipment Committee. At the August 17th meeting, City Council formed the Fire Department Equipment Committee and appointed council members Dean Roberts and Jeff Yarrick, as well as the city manager and 2 members of the fire department to the committee. Those 2 members are Chief Cook and Assistant Chief Garrett. With the recent election, we will now need to replace Councilor Roberts.
Very good. Jamie had indicated that you were interested in serving on the committee. I don't know if anybody else is, but I wanted to put that on the table. We need a motion to appoint a person to the Fire Department Vehicle Committee. Is there a motion?
I move to appoint Councilor Green to the Fire Department Vehicle Committee.
Support?
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? Any audience comments on this? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Thank you, Jamie. Item number 3 is consideration of resignation from Personnel Board. Mr. City Manager?
Council is being asked to consider approving the resignation we received from Councilor Warren from the Personnel Board. John was recently elected to the City Council and therefore needs to step down from the Personnel Board.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of John Warren from the Personnel Board.
Support.
What's been made and supported? Any discussion? Appreciate your time on there, John. I don't know that you guys ever met, did you?
No, never met once.
No, that's good. That's good that we don't meet when it comes to that board. Very good. No, we appreciate you stepping up for that particular board, John. Any other discussion?
He could have made a motion to accept his own resignation.
He did. Any audience comments on this item? Okay, back to the table. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion does pass. That ends our items for consideration this evening. We move on to city manager's comments. Sir?
At a previous quarterly roundtable, we discussed getting copies of the bylaws for our various boards to the council members. In front of you tonight, the city clerk put together binders that include not only the council's bylaws, but also all of the approved bylaws that we have for the other committees and boards and commissions that we have. In the front cover, I also placed a copy of the organizational chart for the city. And as we update these items, we'll get you copies. There was a couple boards we noticed, Personnel Board being one, that I think due to the infrequency of their meetings, I have bylaws for them on my computer that were done back in 2003, but have never been approved. So we may do some additions to these books, but we want to get council the most recent bylaws for all these committees.
Very good. We appreciate that, John.
The Lions Club, their monthly meeting is actually here tomorrow at the community room. I'm the program, going over the City Hall project and stuff, and a quick tour afterwards. And also, speaking of meetings, I may be coming to council for a special meeting to talk about kind of roles and kind of an orientation meeting for the new council members and the old council members, so I may be sending out some calendar pages to you. I'll probably look into having some speakers from MML, see if there's something along that order that we can bring to the table. And did talk to the chamber today, and they were hoping tonight to take down the rest of the scarecrow cornstalk remnants. I did speak with her today, and so they were trying to do that tonight.
Very good. We might want to make that very clear next year when that comes back.
Yeah.
Hopefully it comes back to us, because it was a great event. But
Yeah.
we need to clean that up.
Yep. They did send, Tifa, of course, in the past, and again this year, had paid for a portion of the hay bales and corn stalks. In their letter submitting their bills, they did acknowledge that they had an issue this year, and we'll look to clean that up in the future.
Good. Very good. Okay. Moving on. Council comments. Dennis?
Just wanted to congratulate the school with all the sports activities and all their awards, soccer and football district champs, and just the turnout of people the community brought in. I was talking with the athletic director, and he's figuring about 1,500, 2,000 people at some of those events. So it was a great turnout, seeing the community there supporting local activities, and so it just makes it nice to be a part of it. So.
Very exciting season. Jeff?
Yeah, unfortunately, in this last meeting, due to the arrival of my second daughter, Madison Elizabeth, I just want to announce that. Ironically, the daughter of an elected official arrived an hour and a half before the polls opened on Election Day, so she's already rubbing off. I'm rubbing off on her right off from the beginning. And I just wanted, since I missed last meeting, there was an agenda item that I was glad to see. I just wanted to compliment the police chief and staff for working together, and the council supporting the speed adjustment in front of the school to make that more reasonable, getting away from what may be seen as a speed trap and being, trying to be safe and reasonable. So I appreciate the council supporting the chief's efforts and the staff. So I'm glad that got done. I think we've talked about, that's been kind of kicked around for a while. So I'm glad that wrapped up.
Very good. John?
Just the same as Councilman LaFleur. Football team had a great year. Sports, Great season.
Emily?
I just wanted to extend my sympathies and thoughts to all those affected by the terrorist attacks recently in France.
Jamie?
Two things, sir. One is to second your scarecrow thing. I am taking note that I would like that clear in when they come to request that. I was very, very disappointed in how some of them were taken apart. It even almost looked like bodies on the ground. And it's such a great event. So it was sad, and then it was dragged out. I was almost tempted myself just to, if I had a pickup, I would have just grabbed all the crap and thrown it in. So I got that off my chest. Second, and I'm bringing this up because I want everybody else's opinion if it's okay. On our code enforcement sheet, would it be possible, or if you would agree with me, that John could put the date of the last time contact was in the notes? Just so we know when it was, because it says it's resolved, but then like it says notes, chief told, city manager told chief to send a letter regarding the violation. Just when that letter was sent or when that last note was taken, I just didn't feel it was to put that on, to ask John that myself, so I just wanted to, just like a consensus if that is okay. I had a situation that came
Bringing
up.
something up that's on the items, or the consent agenda, we really shouldn't be talking about it.
Okay, it was,
But no taken, yes, I
Okay,
noticed the
that's-
same thing.
okay,
That's something that maybe
Yeah, I can clean that up a little bit.
administration
yeah.
can take a look at.
okay, that's all I needed. Thank you.
Okay. My turn, Mike's not here. Great season for football, and soccer had a good run also. I'm not sure about some of the other fall sports that we had, but I think everybody was very respectable this year as far as the teams went and whatnot. So
Volleyball did quite well, I believe, too. So.
yeah. So, good season. And luckily, I had the time to make all the home games. And luckily, our football team did very well in the season, so it guaranteed 3 home games in the playoffs as long as they kept winning. And I will tell you that we stand in between the big stands and the concession restroom building that the city, Tifa, financed, and it is used all night long. And I think, Dennis, when you talk about the numbers of people that were there, you never saw that.
No.
You never saw those numbers. So a lot of people are there, a lot of people from the opposite side have to come over, and they're coming over and using the restrooms, and we have flush toilets instead of having outhouses. It is so nice. It's just, again, I think a great source of pride for us to finally get there, and was, I think, for the community, it was a great investment by the city of Richmond to finance that building there. So it's just great. Those are the types of things I think that we need to continue to do as far as joining hands with other entities within the city through our TIFA and through the city council to make sure that we keep on doing positive things like that, making the community a better place. This weekend, we have the auction, the city Richmond auction. We actually have Rowley Auction Service, who has done a number of auctions in the area. They will be running the city's auction this year, which will have mini bicycles, speakers, metal and wood desks, street signs, cement mixer, 5-foot snow blower attachment for a skid steer, general tools, generators, treadmills, dumbbells, zero-turn mower, all kinds of stuff that the city is put on auction this Saturday, the 21st. Doors will open, I think, at 8:30 a.m.
8:30 is the preview, I believe, yeah.
And then the actual auction will start 10 a.m. sharp.
Correct.
That is going to be held at our indoors at our Richmond DPW barn on BB Street, BB and Water. That's this Saturday, the 21st, 10 a.m. As always, Santa Parade applications are available. Are they on the website, John?
Yes, they are.
They're on our website, and also 727-3064.
Correct.
For our Parks and Recreation Department. You can get a parade application. You do not need one if you get something together the last minute on December, what is it?
4th.
December 4th. You can show up at the Kmart parking lot and bring your tractor lit up for Christmas, Mr. Pankowitz. The community tree lighting is that evening. That will be held at the auditorium on Main Street, the Youth Regional Complex. That is Friday, December 4th. It's our community tree lighting. The carols will start at 6:30 p.m. at the Aud. There will be some refreshments and hot chocolate. Santa will arrive approximately at 7 o'clock. We will then light the tree, and there will be pictures afterwards inside the auditorium, and there will be photos taken, and you can also take your own photo if you wish. Every child will receive a gift from the city. And as I said earlier, the Santa Parade will start at the Kmart Plaza. It will run down to Armada Ridge. It will turn around, come back up Parker to Churchill, and back on Main Street, and then back to the auditorium. So we're hoping for just a little bit of snow to set the mood on that evening. Not enough to make the streets slippery, but also our Parks and Recreation Department is having the hall walking for your health at Richmond Middle School every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, November 3rd through April 5th from 6 to 8 o'clock. That's at the middle school. A drop-in fee is $1 per night, or you can get a special discount punch card, and you can get, 15 nights for $12. Sounds like a deal. Something I probably should be doing. And that's ages 10 and older with an adult. So if the school is closed because of weather or some other misfortune, that will not be happening. That's Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Seems like we had something else. Let me go to the calendar here, today being November 16th. Yes, we have a meeting this Thursday, which does not appear on the city's calendar. It will be at 7 o'clock. It's the Park and Recreation meeting. And, of course, we have Thanksgiving on Thursday the 26th. City Hall and the library will be closed on Thanksgiving Day and on Friday. And, of course, the library will be closed on Saturday the 28th. Everybody will be back to work on the 30th. Our Parks and Recreation Commission and our Library Board will be meeting on December 1st at 7 o'clock here at City Hall. That is their annual meeting to get together to talk about things that are somewhat similar between the two boards. We'll get together there. And as mentioned, we will have the tree lighting Santa Parade on the 4th, Friday night. And the next regularly scheduled City Council meeting will be on December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. We hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving and a safe one. I also want to extend the City of Richmond's condolences to former Township Supervisor Gordon Firstnaw's family on his passing. He worked with us for many years. We had a great relationship here, and he was a personal, longtime friend of mine, so our condolences to the family. It's a great loss to the community. I don't believe there's anything else for the calendar that we have. Okay, we move on. There is no closed session this evening. Is there any other business of the City Council this evening? Being not, motion to adjourn would be in order.
Make motion to adjourn?
Support.
What's been made and supported? There's no discussion. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion does pass. Thanks for being with us.